Right, good afternoon. Welcome back to VP4TV. Looks like I'm the only one here, but we're going to go ahead. We've got a round two match in the VP4 2025 Virtual World 9-Ball Championship. It's Japan versus Sweden, and Acero representing Japan, Bedhead representing Sweden. Race to 19, round two match going ahead at the top of the hour. There has been one addition to the schedule, and unfortunately, from what I heard the other night, there Albinario and Cobra were having trouble arranging a time to get their match played, but they've managed to do it. It's on Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. And the unfortunate thing about that is I'll be at work, so I won't be able to get that match. And I don't know whether Slim will either, because that's really early in the morning for him. So I would love to see it, but I don't know whether it's going to be recorded. We've still got this match on the schedule, the one we're going to be watching in a few minutes. We've got Coldest Pillow and Interchange X on Sunday afternoon. I'll be there for that. So the tournament's taking shape now, especially in the winner's side. We've got a lot of heavy hitters bumping into one another. We had one last night with MC underscore Clarkey and Larry, and Matt won out in the end. Larry, the usual story, is about missed opportunities and poor unforced errors at the wrong time, and Matt got over the line. We've got Popman through to round three. He now plays Stub whenever that might be. We've got Spectre Dawn in round three, waiting on the winner of this match, and that'll be a good battle as well. Now, Acero usually, if he's going to show up, he shows up at the last minute. Well, we've got 3 minutes to go. Bedhead is here. He's been here for about 10 minutes and getting warmed up. And, well, Acero is the one player who never really shines in the 9-Ball World Championship. I've yet to see him, stand up in these type of matches. He is, or was, the straight pool world champion until this year, and Cobra took that crown from him. But Acero, I don't know that 9-Ball is his game, but he is a good enough player, but he never really produces it on the day. I've yet to see him do that, but there's always a first time. Goodness me, what a name that is. Hong Crew Fu caseopening.com, whatever the hell that is for a name, I don't know. So we are good to go. Welcome to Cobra. Is that the best time you could arrange that match? 9 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday? Why couldn't you have arranged it for, say, 10:30 in the morning on Tuesday? Because I finish at 9:45, and I would dash down the road to get it. At 9 o'clock, I'll still be at work, but if you arranged it for 10:30, I would have been able to get it. But then again, needs must. You have to go to work. Well, we all do. Right, so we're getting close to the time. We're a minute to go, and no sign of Acero yet. So we are still not sure whether we've got a match on here or not. Keeping a close eye on entry to the lobby. We'll get the tournament tab up. Well, I suppose you'd have to say Bedhead's the favourite, but Acero is well capable of taking Bedhead down, but I don't know whether he's going to be good enough to sustain a level that'll allow him to do that. That will either unfold or it won't happen at all. Now, the room is up. And Still no acero. Well, I don't have him in Facebook, so no way of knowing whether he is going to show or not. We just have to bide our time and see whether he is going to be up for the fight. Well, according to the forecast, this is certainly probably going to be our last good day we've had. Well, acero's arrived, so let's get in the room. We've had great weather the last few weeks. It's been bone dry, sunny and warm, and the Atlantic weather is coming in, and we'll be back to the normal showers and sunny spells, and we'll get one last sunny day up here, and then it'll be back to normality. So acero's here, we're getting in the room, and we're waiting on both players arriving, so we do have a match. Again, hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear, and if I'm not, there's nothing to be done about it. So welcome everybody, whoever you are. I know Bill had dropped in. Cobra's here. Somebody else is there lurking in the background, but they're not saying anything. So acero is in. Now remember, races to 19, no jump queues in this tournament. And winner breaks. I see Buddy Hall, famous 9-ball player in the States, has died at the age of 80. That's all over Facebook. Right, we've got Bedhead on the right-hand side, acero on the left, and we will have the lag for the break. And Bedhead has won that easily. So off we go. And dry break straight off the bat. Dodgy shot in the one for acero, but he can duck behind these 3 balls here if he plays this right. But I think the 4 ball might be hampering him for that reason. He would have liked to maybe play that 1 ball up the table and duck behind the 2, 5 and 6, but the 4 ball, I think's a bit of a hindrance to that. Well, he had a go at, I think, possibly the 1-9 combo there. And I don't know what Bedhead's going to do. He might have a go at this. He's got to watch that side pocket, though, on the right side. I think he'll be having a go at this. I'll be surprised if he doesn't. That was well played. So that's a quick end to the rack. First blood to Bedhead. Break number 2, dry. Shot in the 1, but not much doing on the 2 ball. I think acero has to get down and dirty here and try and control this table. Unless he's going to try and... Well, I'm not really sure what he tried. As he's not in a great position here to keep this safe. He's going to split the 2 and 3. It's all about the cue ball. Can only see the edge of the 2. And Is this going to go into the gap? Of course it is. So, Acero's had 2 shots. Not very distinguished shots at that. And Bedhead has a chance to pounce for a 2-0 lead here. So this is a shot, I think, getting up and good in the 4 to get back in the 5. And Bedhead, typical with the Bedhead cut. Now, if the worst happens here, he could go around the corner left side and bump into the 6 ball. That wouldn't do him any harm. He should still have a shot in the 5. Oh, I got that all wrong. Well, he did bump the 6 and he did get on the 5, but he was the proverbial country mile away from the 4 ball. Now, straight away here, Acero has to capitalise on this here. It's all about the 4 ball. He gets the 4 ball and he should be out. Well, now he's got to make a decision. If he's coming inside the 8 ball, he's got to get past the 8 ball. And he's well inside that. Doesn't want to be over the 8 ball, though, but he is. And now it's not quite as simple. He can do a little dink, though. Yeah, just like that. And he's got a nice angle in the 8 to get up top. So the first unforced error from Bedhead is going to cost him. And Bedhead's had 2 dry breaks. Acero with a chance to show him how to do it. Welcome to Vince Says. It is 7 minutes past 1 in the afternoon. There's that pattern with the 3 balls. And the break is dry, but safe. Well, he can play the push out. He can play the kick onto the 1, but he'd probably be in trouble if he did that. And if he goes over right side, Acero will just punch the 1 ball round the table and bury him behind the 4 and the 7. So he's got to be careful with this. If he's going to roll dead to the 1, he's asking for trouble. I mean, that might not be quite as bad because he hasn't left an angle to get away from this. But he can do a little dink and just bump the 7 and go that side of the 4. That's what I think he should be trying here. Just a little edge, bump the 7. You've got to hit this to make sure the cue ball gets most of the 4 ball as cover. I think he can do it. Doesn't look like that's what he's doing, though. Well, this is a thin edge off the 1 and try and duck behind that 8. The angle's perfect for doing that, but he probably won't cover the 1 ball if he doesn't get behind not the 8, the 4 ball, because the 1 ball's going to leak out. Well, I think he can certainly get enough of the 1 to try and pot that. He's trying to pot it up the rail, looking for second prize, but not getting that. So Bedhead got a chance here. So now we need to look at these 3 balls. I think the 5 ball goes into the corner. I think it does. 5 ball definitely goes into the corner. And probably goes into the side as well. Need to have a look and check that also. Not sure. It might. I'm not sure. Welcome to Yama. Yeah, what time is it over there? It must be about 9 o'clock at night. Must be about 9 p.m. down in Samurai country. Yep, 9 p.m., 8 hours in front. Well, this is not great shape, trying to get the cue ball over for the 4, and it's a dead bank, this 4 ball, and if he can come around the back of the 6 and 8, he should be on that 5, because we know the 5 goes in the corner. It 100% goes in that top right-hand corner. Got to miss the bump in the 6. He's checked it up, but he's missed the bank. Well, acero can play the thin cut, but he's going to have to go twice across the table, I think. He probably... Well, because he's stuck in the rail, there's not a lot he can do with the cue ball. Well, he's trying to play it one rail to hold it. Yes, he can pot the 5. He's going to have a dodgy shot in the 6, though, in a minute. That's a good pace. That's perfect. Perfect. So around the back of the 8 and 9. And, oh, that 8 ball looks ropey. I mean, if you look at it that way, it goes, but that is really tight. He's going to be hard pushed to get really good on this, and I don't think that's going to be good enough, is it? Well, he's there, and it will go on the side, but it's a testy one. Oh, he's nailed that. This needs to keep running, though. It needs to keep running to open up that angle. It's not bad. 9 times out of 10, he's potting this, no problem. So Acero's got himself the lead. And again, too many dry breaks going on here. And, well, Bedhead's got no problem in hitting the 1. It's a question whether he can go at the rail and punch the 1 around the table and keep the cue ball down by the 2 ball. Let's see whether he can get anything like that. No, he tried to nick that in. I think I would have went to the rail to sort of try and punch that 1 ball around, but maybe he didn't have enough room. But regardless of that, it is another chance for acero here. So 2 ball off the rail and out for the 3. 4 ball is very handy up top. Needs the angle on the 4 to come out into the right side of the table for the 5. Oh, hang on a minute. That's a howler of a mistake there, is it? That's a terrible shot. Terrible shot. Stupid mistakes like that are so costly. When he had a table that he had a very good chance of running out, and he's going to leave a bedhead cut on here for him. So that's a poor effort there by acero. I mean, he should have seen that a mile away and been nowhere near that 6 ball. And silly mistakes like that are what loses you matches in the long term. Racks that you've got every control of the table, you've got to take evasive manoeuvres to avoid anything stupid like hooking yourself behind a 6. And he falls right into his own trap. And it's a gift of an opportunity for Bedhead that he should never have had. So up for the 8 ball, but not on top of the 8 ball. That's the rule here, left or right side. And don't leave it short. And that looks perfect. He's going to be fairly straight, but he'll just probably roll through. Leave the long 9 ball, unless he tries to get acrobatic with the cue ball, but there's no real need for it. He just needs to get a good line. Well, there's one that's got away there for acero. 2 racks apiece. Well, this time a ball's going into the side. No shot in the 1, though. But off that right side of the 1 ball, there is a row, I'll say that again, there's a line of balls up top there to duck behind. Got to get there. Huge target area to get that cue ball. Should be trying to come up and bump the 9 ball. Oh, he's going. Is he going inside? Oh, he's got there. And he's bumped the 9. Would you believe it, though? I think he's got cover. Yes, he has. Oh, missed it by a hair's breadth. Well, Bedhead's going to have ball in hand, but he's going to be hard pushed to get out here. There's one option that he's got to think about, and that might be it might be either a billiard off the 4 onto the 9 and 6. That's a possibility. In fact, look at where the 3 is and where the 4 is. It's unlikely he's going to get really good in the 4, but if he gets over this side of the table for the 4 ball, he can easily play a billiard off the inside edge of that 4 onto the 9 and 6. He doesn't have to try and bump balls. He just has to use his head. So we'll see how he deals with this, but to me, that's a shot. If he just nicks across the table and comes anywhere inside here on that 4, he can play the billiard, and it's pretty unmissable, that billiard onto the 9 and 6. The 6 has to go in. And that's the shot. That looks perfect. And the obvious problem here is where the 4 ball's going to finish, whether it's going to be finished nailed to a rail or whether it's still going to be in play. Well, he's playing it soft enough, but the problem with that is he hasn't hit the damn thing. Again, a terrible shot by Bedhead. You got to hit it to make the combo. He was too worried about the 4 ball and forgot about actually executing the shot to get the combo, the billiard. So 2 glaring mistakes here, one from acero, one from Bedhead. And acero won't be complaining because he's had a gift of a go here. Now, this is tricky. Oh, the angle was fine. Commentator's eye. I told him to get in the left-hand side and just play the billiard, but no, if he'd played it right, he'd have got it, no problem. I mean, these players are good enough to deal with situations like that. I'm giving that a 2 out of 10 for effort there by Bedhead. The two points that he got was actually for getting the cue ball into the area I was talking about. The rest of it was nada in terms of the execution. The 2 balls going in. And a shot in the 1. And an angle to come across for the 3. It might have to be a 4-5 combo here. No, I'm not wrong. I'm never wrong. Commentator's eye's never wrong. So just got to keep that 4 ball Well, he's hammered it. I don't know that was the wisest shot, but it hasn't quite come out far enough for a comfortable pot in the side. There's a big cut-up table, I think. I mean, you don't want to try and feather that into the side pocket. You've got nothing of a pocket for it to go into. But he's got the pot. He's knocked the 8 ball in. And he's got a bit of a ropey 6 ball now. Does he go forward? Or does he try and dig in? He's digging in. And that's well played. Very well done. There's not going to be an argument here. I know I'm right. And that's an end of it. And if you don't like that, go to Shooter's Pool. Good morning. Welcome to Moaning Hair Pig. Just all trying to gang up, mate. There's me rushing home from work, rushing to get something to eat, rushing to get the stream ready, and then all I get is grief. Well, where we have, we've got acero suddenly finding himself with a 2-rack lead. Now, is he going to play the cut? Is he going to bank? He's got to try and get away from the 9 ball to get down to the 6. He's managed to do that. Welcome to Paul. What time is it in your part of the world, Paul? It's 9 p.m. or just, well, it's 9:25 p.m. over in Samurai country. Well, it didn't look like this was going to be the scoreline the way this match has started, but suddenly Bedhead's in trouble here. So you're 7 hours in front. Don't tell me that's another dry break, is it? No, it's actually a scratch and a dry break and an immediate gift for Bedhead. So he can pot the 1. He's going to roll right across the table past that 8 ball to cut the 2. And the 3 ball will go into this bottom left corner once the 1 ball's out the way. So he doesn't really have to do a lot with the cue ball once he pots the 2. But he has to have the angle on this 3 so that he can get through for the 4. This is easier said than done. It's not quite as simple because the 6 ball could be a hamper if you finish this sort of angle. And that's perfect. That is absolutely stonewall, on the money, perfect. Well, what acero didn't want to do was get a 5-2 lead, break, scratch, give Bedhead a ball in hand and an opportunity to just stay in touch. Now, he's got to nip this cue ball back. He's just got to nip it back. I was reading on Facebook there, Hair Pig, that Buddy Hall's passed away at the age of 80. And that's not where he wanted to be. That is definitely not where he wanted to be. But that's well played. It was tight past the 9 ball. Well, he's gone to the big pool hall in the sky. Oh dear, what a shot that was. That was so bad, we need to see that again. Look at this for an overcut in the 8 ball. What a mistake that was from Bedhead, and he's handed it back to Acero. Well, Acero's going to suddenly spread that lead to 4 racks. What a turnaround this rack's been. Huge mistake from Bedhead. And 2 ball goes in. Half a shot in the 1 ball. A thin cut into this bottom left. Got to try and sneak around the back of the 8 ball, which he's done. Now he needs a nice roll of the ball somewhere or other, and that might be okay. That will do. No, it won't. I forgot about the 3. My bad. I'm too busy looking at the 4. I forgot the 3 ball was in the rail. Got to go and buy a car. What car's that then? Right, so Bedhead's now been handed the ball in hand, the free goal with ball in hand. This is just going to be a roll in, I would think, and just let the cue ball roll across. Well, Bedhead's mistake in that previous rack was not nipping the cue ball far enough. I think it was for the 7 in the side or something, was it not? But he made a complete hash of that. But he did get the 7 down past the 9, and then he overcuts the 8. Good morning to Run Out Rob. All of these American people and people from way down the other side of the world all falling out of bed at this time, or about to go to bed. Well, this is giving Bedhead a chance to nip one back, but he could do with a quick couple of racks here before this really starts getting ugly. Welcome to Coldest Pillow. The only member of my channel. All of these other cheap guys cannot afford $1 a month to support VP4TV. That's embarrassing. It really is. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Coldest Pillow's my biggest supporter. Oh, aye, Vince says as well. I forgot about that. I do apologise. I forgot about that. I just don't like that name. Change it back to Vince says. Yeah, $1, £1. I'm the cheapest membership in YouTube. Everybody else is charging a $5 a month. I'm charging $1. $1 measly a month. $12 a year to support VP4TV. Sooner or later, he'll change his name back to Vinces. I know he will. I mean, I always have doubts about people that keep changing their names in VP4. They've got an identity crisis. I've had the same name for more than 20 years. Well, it is Acero keeping that lead. How do you say my last name? How do you think you say it? West coast of Ireland. My surname is what's the word? There's a word for it, but I can't remember the word. It is if you actually go to Google and Google Gallo Glass, the Gallo Glass, yeah. The Gallo Glass were a bunch of skinheads back in the Middle Ages that came over to Scotland to kick the shit out of people. That's basically how it was. They're like a bunch of thugs. The Gallo Glass, Gallowglass, I believe. And my surname, Goligly, is a descendant of that name. So I've got Irish blood in me, and don't mess with me. That's basically what I'm saying. Who? OnlyFans? What the hell is OnlyFans? What is MILF? Somebody explain that to Paul. I'm not at liberty to do that on my channel. And meanwhile, Acero, wrong side of the 8 ball, or at least he looks as if he is, and he's diced with death there, but he's got away with it. So, Bedhead back to trailing by 5 racks. And a couple of balls have gone in, and that 8 ball is just married up with the cue ball. And Acero has got to push out, but if he pushes anywhere up the table, he'll leave a cut for Bedhead. I mean, what does he do here with this cue ball? Where he's not going to leave Bedhead aside while he tried to kick it in at the end. In all honesty, I think that was probably the best idea, because it was very difficult to put the cue ball somewhere where Bedhead wasn't going to be able to do something with the 1, but as it turned out, it's now a free go for Bedhead. This is just sort of in between this 3 ball here. He's just rolling it dead just to stop the cue ball running away. I've never heard of OnlyFans. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it means. I've never seen that website. I would love it. What is it about it that I would love then? Explain it to me. Give me the big sell. Tell me what it's all about. Why is it called OnlyFans? And what is there to be gained by joining it? It's like private porn, says Larry. Well, you've got me interested now. Right. Rack number 13, Bedhead's break. A ball or balls have gone in, and the cue ball has gone in. 5 ball has gone. Cue ball has gone. ball in hand for acero. And 1 ball and 2 ball and 3 ball and 4 ball we will give. Well, you want to be able to sort of cut that 4 in and just come across for the 5, because the 5 certainly goes. So they're all there for the taking. And he's got the angle to just come across for the 5. So where can this go wrong? Doesn't want to be too straight, though. Yeah, well, I think he's got to try and nick back and avoid the 8, but I'm not sure whether he can. And that'll do it. Everything's good. It must be early for you as well, Larry. What I'm trying to work, is it like, what time is it here? 25 to 1. So is that like 8:30 in the morning? 7:30 in the morning up there, wherever you are, out in the sticks in the middle America. I'm guessing it's 6:30 in the morning. Well, acero back to a 5-rack lead. A ball has gone in. I heard something drop. The 4 has gone. He's sitting plumb in the 1. And everything is there. And Bedhead is in deep doo-doo. If he doesn't already know it, he should now be fully aware of it. I think he's got himself too straight in this 5 ball. Yeah, that's the best he could do. Now, this is going nowhere. It needs to get there. It needs to get there. And again, he could have overhit that by a country mile and finished up there. He would still have a shot in the 7. Now it's dodgy territory. Well, that was well nailed. And the cue ball's very good. He's making it hard work, but he's getting there. Now, don't scratch the side pocket. He's well away from that. Well, there's a jinx if ever I've read it. Acero's connection have been stable for the past year now. Watch what happens next. He'll probably disappear. And I never uttered those words. So the lead is now 6, and there's that pattern of the 3 balls, but they got bumped and have split, and the brake's dry. And it's going to be a 1-3 combo. And then probably a 2-6 combo. In fact, tell a lie, this 2 ball's going to come out into the table. He's got to hit this 1 ball. He's got to hit this. And no idea whether he'll have a shot. In fact, he's no idea whether the 1 ball will follow this in or whether it'll end up in the short rail. So this is anybody's guess as to what's going to happen here. In fact, he tried to get nipped behind the 4 and never got there. Well, the rule here is you cut the 1 and you come down the table onto the short rail at the bottom and back into the table. That's the rule here. You don't try and get cute. Just give it a good hit. Cue ball back up into the table like this. And that's perfect. So the one that will win the rack is from the 3 to the 4 ball. If he gets there, he should be home and dry unless he hooks himself behind the 5. And well, he's hit that hard. The 2 balls come into the table. He's hampered over the 5, and again, he's making his life difficult. Well, if he just rolls this in plain ball, the only thing that can happen here is hooking himself behind the 5. For the 3 ball, if he just lets the cue ball roll out, the cue ball's taking a line that could be close to the 5 ball. Well, it's tight, and he's got a nice angle. where he can spin across the table past the 9. He might leave a dodgy cut in the 4, but it's still better than having no shot at all. He's trying to get there, though. Oh, this looks good. That looks very good. That's excellent. And this is giving Acero all the chance to get really settled in the match, and he's now going to be barring a disaster here. He's going to be 7 in front. Well, Bedhead, you've got to wake up. You've got to get control of these tables and try and stifle the flow. Well, this match is, if it's not already gone, it's the best part of gone. Yes, I've been to Subway once or twice. It's not a regular place I ever visit, but yes, I have participated in some of their nice filled rolls. Yep. Been a while since I've been there, though. 4 ball in the side. Cue ball's gone again. Well, there's that little bit of a gift of an opportunity that Bedhead's been waiting on. But he's in the long haul here to try and get back into this. I'm going to have a drink. And any latecomers that have arrived, Albinario and Cobra have arranged their match, which is at an awkward time next Tuesday morning, but it will suit some of you guys in far-flung places. It goes ahead at 9 a.m. on Tuesday morning in the coming week. I won't be there for it. I'll be at work. I don't know whether Slim will be getting out of bed to try and cover that match, because I would like to see it when I get home. In fact, the match will still be on probably by the time I get in the house. Or it might be coming to an end, but I certainly... If they'd only left it like an hour later, I would have got it no problem, and I would have dashed home. Well, this is a vital rack of many vital racks that Bedhead needs to get in the next 10-15 minutes here, or the match is definitely gone. Still trails by 6, and he needs a spate of racks to come here. Well, he's got a ball, but he ain't got a shot. 8 ball is gone. No shot in the 1. Had he had a jump cue, he'd have jumped over that 6 ball and cut the 1. But that ain't happening. Well, you've got to be brave here, because you're cutting the 1 along the rail. It could be a very thin Bedhead cut in the 1 ball, or you could cut it along to the pocket and try and get cover with the cue ball up top behind some of those balls, but there's no guarantee that's happening. So I think he might be going all out for the thin cut here. He's got to watch the scratch as well. No, he's not. He's trying to get nasty here. Is that getting to the rail? Yes, it is. Now, if you're Bedhead, you've got to have a go at the bank. You must have a go at the bank. He who dares wins. He's got to take that opportunity. Well, he could have left something easier. The 1 will cut. But the cue ball's going nowhere great. But it could also push that 1 ball through and nail him to the 7. I mean, that looks an easier shot than trying to cut and pot that 1 and get back out for the 2. I think it's far easier to nail him to the 7. And he's going all out for it. But like I said, the cue ball was never going to be good in the 2 ball, and he's hung the 1. And this is what Bedhead needs. He needs Acero to be taking on stuff that he maybe shouldn't have. It was probably easier to duck there than it was to go all out for that pot. But Bedhead will be quite happy if Acero keeps doing stuff like that. So, pot the 2, go over for the 3. Needs an angle on the 3 where he can either cut it in and come back around and out for the 4. The 4 goes into the side. Now, if he gets out into the table, it'll go into the corner. And there lies the problem. The problem is now he's taken a chunk of the 6 ball. He wanted to finish sort of there where he wasn't interfering with the 6 ball. Now he's not sure how this is going to finish. Well, the 6 ball is gone. He's gone a wee bit further than he would have liked, but he's still got the pot, and he's got to probably just let this run out. He's not going to scratch if he just plays the cut. Well, this would be simple enough just to roll it in. Well, this is two racks that Bedhead desperately needed. Well, I mean, it is all about controlling the table. There's nothing much you can do to control what's happening on the break shot, so that's the problem. And he's come up dry again. And Vince says there is no way he's ever going to be able to refuse the bank on this one. Now, the 3 ball is the immediate issue. And again, he's gone for the bank. He's not managed to get the bank. Bedhead's got the cut in the 2, the 1 past the... it is the 2 ball. But whatever way you look at it, Bedhead's at the table, and that's all that matters to him. The table's under his control for the time being. Now, he's going to have to spin this up. If, a good chunk of right English in this to try and come down this side of the 3, I would imagine. Got to try and get anywhere down here to have a shot in that 3 in the side. He can force it through with a good bit of spin on the cue ball, I think. He's not quite got enough on it. Not quite got enough, but the cut is on. But how is he with the traffic? That's the issue. Can he get himself out of there? Well, he went for the bank. He's going to get the double bank. That's a bonus. The 4 ball comfortably goes past the 8. Right, see you later here, pig. Some of us have done our work and we're done for the day. Some others have to go to work. Well, this will be, 3 in a row for Bedhead. But he's still not back in it yet. But Acero has taken on shots here, and they haven't gone in. And Bedhead has managed to capitalise on it. That's the most important part of it. So 7 ball is gone. Shot in the 1, out into the table for the 2, out into the table for the 3 in the side, back out for the 4 in the corner. 5's wide open up top right. 6 ball down the rail into the bottom left corner. Everything is there. It's all about the cue ball. And again, he's left himself the bedhead cutting the 2 ball, though. Misses the bump in the 6, and everything is good. And it's odds on here for 4 in a row. Desperately needed racks here for Bedhead. Well, he'll start getting nervous if Bedhead keeps putting these away. Because it doesn't matter what level of player it is. Once that scoreboard starts, once the gap starts shrinking, the sphincter starts tightening. We've seen every player been affected that way. Yeah, and talking about consistency, Larry, you need to find a consistent mouse. That howler last night, trackball mouse, trying to get cute and roll the cue ball. Yeah, you need to bin that and face up to the fact that it's a pile of crap. I know you're deluded into believing that it is the best thing since sliced bread for you, but it ain't. It's limited in the shots that you can accomplish with it. And the evidence is there in video. You can't argue the fact. It's all on video. The trackball mouse disaster. I've got a whole pile of them off Larry. They're all on my channel. Mind you, have to troll through to find them, but they are there. And meanwhile, Acero trying to get a hit in the 1. Well, he tried to cut it in, but he didn't get there. So here we go again. This time it's not quite as straightforward, where the 2 ball is dead and going nowhere. And, well, Bedhead's having a look at it. Well, good luck with that, Bedhead. I don't know how you're going to handle this. I mean, it's absolutely out of the game, this 2 ball, unless he can get really cute with a cue ball. Trying to get into the gap between the 2 and the 3. Play it down the rail past the 6. Oh, that looks good to me. That's an excellent shot right through the gap. So he's given himself a chance now for how many is that in a row? 5 in a row. Well, not quite yet. I mean, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, but he's got a chance. Oh, he's caught the knuckle. The old virtual pull 4 sucker shot down the rail. The knuckle jumps out and grabs the 2 ball, and he gets lucky. Welcome to Tam. Oh, is he? I think he can get through the gap and hit that. The cue ball's going to go to the 8 ball. He's not really under any control in what he's doing with the 2 ball, though it's banking up the table. It might bank and bump the 5, and he might leave it on into the side. It's missed that. Oh, that was almost nasty there. Almost ducked. Oh, he has. He's got the cover. He's got the cover. Bedhead gets the hit. But now, once again, they're all there. The 7 balls outward. But there should be loads of room to get from the 6 over to the rail for the 7 down the rail. But he doesn't want to be straight in the 7. he needs to nip back off the 7 for the 8. So the vital positional shot is coming up. Now, does a 5 go past the 9? No, not really comfortably at distance, and now he's in no man's land. It's just threatening to go pear-shaped here for acero. He's got to go 2-3 rails to get on this 6. That's if he doesn't bump the 9. I don't know whether he can do that, can he? He might be able to go through the gap. Yeah, but he's overcut it. And it's sitting plumb for Bedhead. And this is what needs to happen for Bedhead to get back in it. And he's being ably assisted by acero at the moment. But he's nailed to the rail. And that's all you want to do. Just get out into the table. At least you've got a shot in the 6. And now he should definitely have the shot in the 7. But must have the angle to nip out and back for the 8. Oh, he doesn't want to be over the 8, though. He doesn't want to be over the 8. And suddenly, a shot that wouldn't be too difficult is now giving him problems. He's got to go forward now. I don't think it's worth jacking up and trying to do anything. He might as well go forward and just leave the longer cut. That looks simpler to me. Got to keep it flush. That's the common sense way to do it. Just leave yourself the Bedhead cut at distance. Drop it in and up to the middle of the table for the 9. So this would be a sort of dead weight shot. No, he's going up, right up to the short rail up top. That'll do. How many is that in a row now? Is that 5 or 6? Anyway, it's a good handful of racks in a row. Stubbs said Stubbs Imperial Forces bombing Sweden K. And then he types Bomb Forces K. Why there are always some ads about bombs in the stream? Those ads are from Stubbs. Stubbs he's got nothing to do with. He's not affiliated with VP4TV. He's nothing to do with me. And Tam has just said heed the ball, which is another explanation for an idiot in Scotland. Well, now we've got a match on. Bedhead only trailing by 2. Acero has been frozen out the game for the past 20 minutes. And acero, again, has an issue. He's got an issue with the 4 ball. It is not sitting good. It's not set for a combo. Not really. So he's going to have to play a good one here to have any sort of shot. But again, if he doesn't have a shot, he's got to just put acero in trouble again. Well, he could play a billiard onto the 6. No idea whether there'll be a shot in the 4, but he could play a billiard onto the 6. He looks as if he's trying to cut the 4 out to make the pot in the 6. Tricky, but he's done it and he's good. So now, does he go to the rail and play the 5 into the corner and draw back for the 7? That looks like the simple one. Or does he get out far enough to have the angle? Well, he can nick that in and just pinch the angle to come down for the 7, so he's good. Would they let Stubb in the military? Stubb's the ideal type of guy for the military. Totally brain dead. Very low IQ. He's a perfect soldier. He's the perfect ideal soldier. You know, he's the closest thing you could get to a vegetable and a human being. And that's the type of people they want. Somebody who's already brainwashed one way or the other. Well, Bedhead comes up with a dry break, and suddenly the pressure is all on Acero now here, with an opportunity to try and restore a bit of a lead. He's not great on this 2-ball. The 5-ball's a hindrance. Now, you can play this with loads of draw and bottom left English, but the problem with that is you're going to collide with them. You've got to hope to get lucky here. He's got the bottom left English on it, and he's hoping to get lucky. Watch the cue ball when it hits this rail. It's going that way. Commentator's eye, he was always running into them, but he's got a cut and he's bumped to 6, and the 6 is still good. So he's still in play. Yeah, it was 11-3 or something like that. So he's had a stack of racks in a row there, Bedhead. This needs to keep running, and it looks good. And I think it's vital, if you're Acero, that he can see this rack through and make the most of the dry break, just to let Bedhead know that he's not panicking and he's still in this. But I think you could toss a coin now. I think these next 2 or 3 racks could have a big bearing in the outcome of the match. So it's going back to a 2-rack lead. And now Acero needs to try and capitalise. What he doesn't want right now is a dry break. He wants to stay at the table. Well, he's got a couple of balls. He's not going to have a shot, though. Oh, and the cue ball's gone as well. Another disaster. I mean, every time Acero's got himself back in recent times, he's ended up scratching there. And it's back to square one. Here we go again. Off to IKEA for fish and chips. I mean, you can't hold. You know, you can't hold off until the end of the match. Well, don't forget, if you install YouTube in your phone, you can still watch the match on your phone while you're eating your fish and chips in IKEA. Well, again, it's a straightforward enough table. What, 30-minute walk? You don't got a car. You don't got any wheels. Don't they do deliveries? No. Well, this is a shot. Again, is he going to leave the long cut, or is he going to try and get good in the 6? This is where common sense comes into it. It's a question of whether he wants to leave a guaranteed shot in the 6 from up that end, or whether he's trying to get better on the 6. Yeah. Again, common sense has prevailed. He can pot the 6. He can come around the back end of the 7, which again would mean he's not having to do funny English to try and stay left side of the 7. And that's the way to play it. Keep it simple. So Bedhead is breathing down the neck of Acero. Acero can feel his hot breath. Well, this now is a very big rack and a very big break for Bedhead. This could turn the match completely. But again, it's bone dry, I think. It is bone dry. Now, if you're Acero, what do you do here? Do you go all out for the cut in the side, come around the corner and out to have a shot in the two? Because again, these balls are there, except the six is funny. It's an awkward place to get to for the six. And in recent racks, when Acero's went to try and get himself out, he's failed. He's failed one way or another, and he's failed right off the bat this time. Didn't get himself a shot in the two, and he's left Bedhead some sort of shot in the one, which is not pretty. Yeah, I think that was the right shot to play. That's the right shot. Duck, when it's a lot easier to duck than it is to take on a difficult pot. And again, it's the right shot. Now, can he get through the gap on that three there in the rail? Let me have a look at the line. Oh, that's some shot. That is some shot. He had the line to get to it, and he's kicked it in. What a bonus that is. But no shot in the two. And he's left it wide open. And we're going to be 12 apiece here, as long as Bedhead can get to the six. Now, that six ball goes past the eight. I never even looked at that. It goes past the eight. So he won't be trying to play the six on the side, I don't think. Well, it seems, I mean, Bedhead has been chasing and chasing and chasing. Acero's had one rack in the last 25 minutes and more. I think he's got himself a bit straight in this five. He's got a slight angle. Now, I haven't a clue. I have no clue. I presume he's played to play the bank. He wasn't one to risk going through and around the corner to get to the six that way, but he's got the bank. But look at this seven ball he's left himself. Good luck with this. This is not what you need when you're trying to get back on par. Big shot in the seven. Oh, he's nailed it. He has nailed it. And now it's a different game altogether. Now Bedhead has asked the question of Acero. We're getting down to the business end. How's the nerves now? Especially if Bedhead can get a ball in a shot here and run out. That'll really ramp the pressure up. Well, he's got a ball. He's got no shot, though. But he has got control of the table. He can come around off the edge of this one and use the 5 and 2 for cover. He can certainly do that. Well, he's tried to check it with left English to do it, and he hasn't done it. And he might find himself in bother in a second. He should have got the cover there. Well, that wasn't exactly great. Now, Bedhead is going to be all out for the combo in the 6 here. This one ball could end up behind the 9. He's going to have to play this dead weight. Yeah, he's having to play it dead weight, but he's overcut it. Oh, that got really ugly very quickly, that combo. It got really ugly. And this isn't much better, but he's still got a cut. Cue ball be running loose. He's trying to go inside to the rail and back out and across here to have some sort of sight in the two ball. It's not going to be pretty, though. Well, two ball into the side. This is far from simple. The cue ball wants to run up right, top right corner pocket, this cue ball. Commentator's eye. And he can thank himself that he hasn't actually scratched. But he's still left Bedhead a shot in the two. But how does he deal with this four? He's got to try and come down right side. He might have to, but oh, this would be a tough shot as it is. But is he actually going to thump this in and try and go to the railing around? Or is he going to put right English on it and try and check it up? He needs to get a lot more on it, though. I think this cue ball just does not want to go the direction he wants it to go in. It's too awkward. Yeah, he's done his best to get down here, but now what do you do? I mean, it's fiddly enough trying to play a safe off this, let alone trying to create anything combo-wise. I mean, the 4-9 combo is ridiculous. Now, what's he doing here? Is he trying to nick this and miss the connection? He's trying to spin behind the 9. He ain't got there. And he's left it wide open for Acero. Well, it thin cuts into the side. There's no doubt about that. The cue ball, well, he's going to stay low. And how's the angle? Yeah, he's fine. He can go to the rail and just spin a little bit. He's putting far too much left English in this. He doesn't need that amount. Did not need that amount, because anything could have happened there. Could end up behind the 9. You don't need that amount of left English on it. You just need a little bit of help in left English just to get the cue ball going in the general direction, but you don't need to overdo it. Well, Acero has one cut on the 9 here to get himself back in front and prevent Bedhead getting in front. That was a big rack. And a ball in the side. It might have been the 4. I'm not sure. It might have been the 8. What the hell was it? No, it was the 2. Oh, the 2 ball is gone, but no shot in the 1 again. Now, again, where do you push where you're not going to end up in trouble if you leave Bedhead any decent sight in the 2 ball? Sorry, the 1 ball. Well, I think Bedhead's going to go for the bank every day of the week here. There is no way that he's not going to turn this down. This is wide open for the bank. He's got to run the cue ball, though. He has to run the cue ball around to get a shot in the 3, though. Is he playing the cut? Now, who played the push out there? Hang on. Was that Acero? I see push out in the top of the HUD. Who called that? Was that Acero called it? I forgot. So, well, he pushed him out to a bank, but the Bedhead's cut it in. Well, Steve would have been moaning about that. I mean, I think I thought Bedhead would have took the bank every day of the week, but he actually left him enough to play the cut. But either way, it allows Bedhead to get back onto level terms again if he can see this out. Well, he's going to be wrong side of the 7, but 6, but he's got loads of room to get to the 7. Something really crazy would have to happen here not to be on the 7. And the longer you look at these shots, you're looking for problems that aren't really there. You've just got to look at the line the cue ball wants to take and see whether you need to do any adjustment. Well, he's caught the 8 ball. It's not really done him any major damage. Well, this will just be a couple of rails around the corner now into the table. Or is he digging into net back? It looks as if he's digging into net back. And that side pocket comes into play. Well, this is an umpty shot. Oh, I'll tell you, he's a jammy get. Because that was a shot that was always the scratch. 2 rails around the corner was a lot safer. But he's got away with it. That was a huge risk he took there. And he's got away with it big time. He could have looked a complete numpty, and he probably does because he scratched the cue ball as well now. Who could write this script? Cue ball goes south into the top right-hand corner, and it gives us a free go here for acero. Well, this is warming up, but it's warming up for the wrong reasons. The mistakes are happening. And just when you thought Bedhead was going to get himself in front, look what happens. Acero on that 4 ball, pretty good. So again, just got to get high enough up the table. The further you go this way on the 6, see that shot there? That is the worst shot. I'll tell a lie, I forgot he's on the 5. My bad. I forgot with the 5 in the pocket. I'm getting excited. I apologise profusely. I'm getting overexcited here in the middle of the afternoon. It's far too early for this excitement. Well, one good pot. And now we are definitely running out of racks. It's down to nitty-gritty time. And every break suddenly multiplies in importance. It's the difference between all square and a 2-rack lead here at the right time for acero. But 9 times out of 10, he's scratched so far in the match. Well, in this case, he's kept the cue ball on the table. A couple of balls have threatened the pockets, but it's dry. Now, can he get enough of the 1? I think he can to play the combo in the 7. And he's got to play this pocket weight, so he just brushes the 7 in and the 1 ball stays there because the cue ball's coming over here for a shot in the 1. Well, he's surely not looking at this into the side. I'm thinking he can get enough. Well, he's now pushing out. Well, does he not think he can get enough of the 1 and cheat the pocket to nudge that 7 in? Well, we'll never know. We'll never know. Well, Acero's having none of it. He's giving it back to Bedhead. Bedhead trying to sneak behind the 4. Well, Acero should have seen that coming because if he was brave enough, he would have played it himself. And now he's in deep doo-doo here. And he needs to get lucky, and he's fouled the 4. He has fouled the 4 ball, and anyway, the cue ball scratch. So Bedhead again with the opportunity to stay in touch. Well, he's having a look at how he's going to get out here. So, 2 ball and roll through for the 3 onto the 7. Now, he has to be careful with this for one reason. And the one reason is that he doesn't want the 3 ball to drop in after the 7 right now. If it does, he has to be playing position. If he knows that's going to happen, he has to play position in the 4. He's got to be aware of that. And that's why he's played it so soft and careful, to make sure the 3 stayed there. Now this is a wee bit fiddly. He's got to play this soft and avoid hooking himself behind the 9. Would you believe it? I mean, it's staring you right in the face, Bedhead. Why couldn't you see that shot there? Look at that. I mean, look at the way he's played it at. This is hook myself behind the 9 every day. The weak shot he's just played there. Unbelievable. And the 5's coming into play. Oh, that could be a huge mistake from Bedhead. Acero with the table at his mercy, and he's fluked to 5. Incredible. Look at this for a miss. And he's fluked to 5. Oh dear, that has got to hurt. That has got to hurt, Bedhead. And across the table, he'll have the shot in the 9. And again, this is a little bit of tightening of the sphincter. You look at it once, you see the angle, and you play the pot. You start overthinking it, you're asking for trouble. Well, how important is that fluke there from Acero? It could be a very important fluke. And the 6 ball goes in the side. He's not really got a great shot in the 1, but he does have a bank. Well, it's not actually sitting great as a bank either. I mean, is he trying to bump the 1 onto the 4 and play the 1 in the side? He's maybe having a look at that. Or is he trying to duck up top? He's not really committed either way here at the moment. It looks as if he's cutting across the 1 for the bank, and he's nailed it because it wasn't set as a bank. And that was very well played. He had to cut across that to make the bank. And he's absolutely hit it spot on. Well, Acero could be coming good, finding his 2nd win just at the right time in this match. Well, they're all there. You can't fail to get out here. You cannot fail to get out. And he'll be 3 in front. And all of a sudden, well, as I always say, it doesn't matter about the fluke. It's what you make from the fluke. And so far, that fluke has given Acero 2 very important racks. The rack that he got from the fluke and the follow-up that he's just got right now. And he's now 3 in front and 3 away from round 3. Now, did something go in there? I think something might have been in top right. It was that quick. The 5 ball is gone. He's got a cut in the 1, but the cue ball's running around and away. He's got to get around the table here, I think, unless he finishes right side and plays a cut in the 2. But he's got to get the pace in the 1 to get it in the hole. But this cue ball's going to... He could end up hooked here. He could end up hooking himself. He could end up hooking himself, or he could let a little glance off the 3 and have a cut in the 2. And this is still fiddly. He's hampered over the 6. And that was well played. Very well done. But how's the angle in the 3? Well, he's looking at the 4. The 4 is tight past the 8, but it does go. But he's trying to get below it and maybe play it in the side. Well, he's overdone it. I'm not sure what he's looking at here. I mean, the 4 will go past the 9 if you're that ambitious. It will go. He's trying to drop it dead weight into the side. What a shot that was. What a cut he's pulled out there. And suddenly the match is running away at the wrong time here for Bedhead. Acero 2 shots away from 2 racks away to round 3. Well, Acero isn't blinking at the moment. He had that sort of mid-match crisis there where Bedhead was getting himself back into it. And all of a sudden, it's Bedhead that's frozen out. Or at least he is for a minute, because Acero has potted the 1 in the break. No shot in the 2. Well, he could go loads of right English, go to the rail and kick the 2. But there's no guarantee he's not going to leave the 2 ball wide open somewhere down the table here. I can't see that he's got much other of an alternative unless he just tries to play some sort of push out. He hasn't called anything yet. Well, he is playing the push out now. He's trying to play the 8 to just stay up above the 2 in the short rail. So well, it looks as if it's just going to be dead weight, but he would have to play it really dead weight so he doesn't leave the cut. This is tricky. This is very tricky, this shot. Oh, he stunned it and killed it. He'll be happy with that. And he's not left Bedhead much room to do a great deal with this 2 ball. Well, he's decided he's going all out there to try and get the bank. I presume that's what it was, and he's actually got a roll of the ball. It catches the 9, and it's gone safe, although there was an edge. And Acero has now set it up for a chance for Bedhead. Now, is he just going to drop into the gap with the 5 and 8? I think that's all he should be doing here. And still have a shot in the 3. Just dink this in and stay in the gap. Oh, he's overcooked it. Would you believe it? He's overcooked it. He had to dink it a bit softer than that. But he's kicked the 3 in, and now he's going to have to use all his magic tricks here. Now, he could play the shot that Acero played 5 minutes ago and cut across this 4 and play the bank. If he's going to go all out for it. I mean, he's looking up past the 5 and stuff like that, but he's not playing the cut. Well, there is just enough room to go past the 5 and catch that far shot for this 4 to go in. This will be some shot. Oh, what a shot that is. He's absolutely nailed that one. Well, that's pressure play for you. He has absolutely hammered that spot on, and he's plumbing the 5. Well, he's going to need another good one here. Again, if he's going to dig in. But again, if you run forward, yeah, the only thing that can cause problems is the 9 ball. And that's fine. Well, it's a tall order for Bedhead now, but if he can string another couple of racks together here, I think he's left himself too straight in this 8 ball. Again, you know, any angle in this 8 ball and he's laughing. Now he's having to hold the cue ball. And that'll do. Needs a little string of racks here at the right time. He's got no other time left to do anything. But as long as acero's 2 racks away, he does have a chance. And the 4 ball's tracking, it's gone in. The 1 ball needs to bounce, and it's bounced. It's in play. The 2 ball will pass the 6, and they're all there. So once again, it's a test of cue ball control and getting into the gaps and avoiding hooking yourself behind the 7 or the 5, because that's the sort of line. If he's going to nip across, he's in a danger area here with these balls. He could fall short and hook himself. He could end up nipping over by the 5. And he's, well, I don't know that this is the greatest one, but he's done that to avoid any of these balls that could hook him, but he's left a tougher shot around the corner. Thin in the 2. Should have a shot in the 3, though. And that's well done. Now, again, this line he's got in the 3 is just a wee bit dodgy. It's straightish. Now does he stud it hard? Or does he hold the line? I forgot about the 5 again. I'm getting too excited and engrossed. I'm looking at balls ahead that he should be getting to, and I'm forgetting that the ones he's still to pot. Well, whatever happens, it's going to be worth a watch for the guys that have missed this, who are maybe out at work or going to work, depending where you are in the world, or going to bed, depending where you are in the world. Because who knows what's going to happen here. Because Bedhead is getting the follow-up. He's going to be 2 behind and breaking. Well, I have to say this is probably the best I've seen, or the best in terms of racks and what the acero's done in the early part of the match. Because acero, in a lot of the stuff I've seen him in these 9 ball tournaments, he sort of fell away. I mean, he's got to just focus on the fact he's sitting in 17 right now. The pressure's all in Bedhead to keep at it. And that is not bad. That is not bad at all. Well, this one is around the corner. 2 rails behind the 5 and out. That's, unless you're starting to do checking stuff with the cue ball, he's got right English in this to look as if he's coming in between the 5 and the 9. Yeah. He still could have went the safer route as well. I mean, it wouldn't have done any harm. He wouldn't have scratched or anything. But he's now left the dodgier cut in the 5. If he'd went round the angles, that would have opened out and been a bit more of a straightforward 5 ball. But anyway, he's got there. Probably the 8 ball into the side, although you never know. He might just play the 8 ball long, depending on how he feels. But it looks to me that the 8 ball's going into the right side pocket with this shot. And he's just overcooked that as well. And again, he's leaving himself more work to do, but he's probably just going to go to the rail and come out and leave the longer 9. He shouldn't be doing anything else to try and get any better on it. Well, forget all the previous racks. Here's the most important rack so far today. Is that 3 in a row there for Bedhead now or what? I'm losing track. And, oh, the 3 ball bumps into the 4 and the 4 pushes the 3 ball in. So he's got a ball. He's got a thing cutting the 1. Around the table, 2 ball into the same pocket. He wants to stay short in this 2 ball if he can, because the 4 ball's up that end of the table. So, oh, he's overcut it. Would you believe that? He has overcut the 2, the 1. In fact, he never really got good in the 2 either, not really. And he's left Bedhead, acero. He's left he's left him a shot, but what the hell does he do? Does he bang this and hope it goes in off the 7? I don't know whether it will. No, he's got the cut. I never even checked to see that went. Oh, what a mistake that could be from Bedhead, just when he was on the brink of trying to take this all the way. He might have just sold out big time. I didn't think he could overcut that. He was trying to send it in off the far jaw. Well, it's looking very strong odds here that Acero's going to be on the hill breaking for the match. Well, if Acero can see this through, it might well be the catalyst for him to do well in this tournament, because you never know. He might have been having doubts there when Bedhead was, putting all those racks together and somehow winning them and getting back into it, and then he's just sort of tripped up at the wrong time, Bedhead. And it might well be his last shot, that cut he had into the side there. He might not get to the table again. Well, here we go. And Bedhead's got his fingers crossed. He's 2 behind with 3 to play. You can't get any worse position than that. Cue ball. It stays in the table, but I think all the other balls have stayed in the table. And Bedhead's got no shot. And I'll tell you something. The push-out's got to be careful here, because Bedhead could be in a heap of trouble in a minute if he doesn't play a good push here, or if he's trying to edge the 1 and sneak up behind the 4, he could... Well, he's almost there. That was a tricky little touch shot, that. You could never play that with a trackball mouse, Larry. Now, this is really fiddly, this. He could try and sneak the 1 past the 6, but he's trying to hold the cue ball. Oh dear, that needs to keep running, and it has done. It has done. Just gone past the 3. Well, if you're Bedhead, what do you do now? He's trying to sneak behind the 3, and I think he's got there. He's getting down and dirty. Now, Acero could bank this 2 rails and try and push the 1 in. The line's there to do that. I think the line is there to do it. Yeah. Well, he's looking around and looking around. He's looking for like 3 rails the other way behind the 6, but I think the 8 ball's the way to do that. He's going between the 6. He's looking at that line. The 5 ball, I think, is in the way. I think he's got to go the shot I'm talking about. Boom, bang, bang. This will be some shot if he nails this. I think he's going too tight. I think this is not... Yeah, he's going too tight. I didn't like the line he was taking. He had to go there. I mean, he had to go there, there, and there. He went too tight that way and went straight into the pocket. So he could not see the line there at all for that shot. That was a terrible effort there from acero. In fact, it was so way off that he ended up scratching. I mean, you can also, straighten the line up if you felt you had to with maybe a bit of left English and make the angle, but whatever the hell he did there, it was absolutely nowhere near it. Bedhead won't be caring because he's got a task ahead here. He's got a table that he can get out on, and as far as I'm concerned, this is a shot. If he can get nice in the 4, that he can get down for the 5, because this 5, you don't want to be trying to play it past the 8 ball if you can help it. You can cheat the pocket with it, but I don't think he wants to get there. Well, what does he do? Does he try and come down the table below the 5, or is he happy to play the 5 past the 8? Looks like it. Well, good luck with this, because this is tight. This is tight. He's going to have some sort of shot on the 6. There's no doubt about that, but this is not a gimme. And he's just flushed it past and no more, and it's gone in clean as a whistle. And only 4 balls away to be breaking and try and take this match all the way. Yeah, but Larry, see that if you're looking at that line and you don't think the line's 100% there, you could easily affect the line with a bit of English either way. It looked more to me that maybe a bit of left English, but it would have been so difficult to execute. But either way, the effort that acero did was terrible. I mean, you should never have been scratching on that, trying to make a 2-rail kick. You should never have scratched in the corner. He hit it so bad. And Bedhead now, he's got the brake working again, and he's got a cut in the 1 into the side. We've lost the 3, we've lost the 8. Now what does he do? Right, okay, he can cut the 1 into the side. He's going to bump something here, isn't he? Is he going to try and bump the 4? Because that would be ideal, but he's not going to have a shot in the 2 up the table. The 9's in the way. Oh, this might have worked out perfect. Look at this. Look at this for a result. Watch the way these balls parted like the Red Sea. Look at this. Absolutely plumb. And Bedhead's coming good at the right time. Well, that 2-rail kick that acero tried ended in disaster. And this match could end in a disaster. If Bedhead can see these 3 out, he'll be breaking for the match. Well, after 1 hour and 44 minutes, Bedhead is breaking to see it out. 1 more good break, a ball and a shot. Not a lot to ask for. But no doubt, match of the tournament so far. Two ball goes in. Oh, the cue ball's been bumped by the 6, and look where it's stuck. He was on the 1 ball every day of the week there until that bump by the 6, and it's killed him. And the 1 ball is actually wide open, so this cluster of balls here would allow acero to duck and dive, and Bedhead's got to get wary here. He's got to get very wary because he could leave himself in a whole heap of trouble. What does he do here? Yes, he's called the push, but even if he doesn't leave acero a shot on the one, which is a tough ask not to leave him a shot on the one, the chances are he could get put back in here. Oh, he's left the bait, because if acero looks at this, that can be thin cut into the side. He can't give this back. Bedhead will go all out for the thin cut in the side. The cue ball's going to bump the 7, I think. Oh dear, what do you do here in this situation? If you blast that, Stubb would blast that thin to cut it in the side. Really thin, but you've no control of the cue ball. You're just riding your luck that you're going to get lucky. Is he trying to get cute and go behind the 7 and send the 1 to the rail? It looks as if that's what he's trying. He's got to be careful of this because he could end up scratching. He could catch a bit of the 7. Oh, he's played it well. He has played it very well. He's held his nerve. He's held his nerve very well there, acero. Bedhead, sorry, not acero. Well, now acero needs to get lucky. And, well, the 1 drops into the side. You've got to hit this spot on to the jaw, or it ain't going in. And not only that, you've got to think about the cue ball. And it's gone in. He's got the cue ball out. The 4 ball is absolutely dead in the rail. The banks are open. The banks are wide open. And that is absolutely spot on. Well, this is a shot that will win him the match. That 4 ball isn't frozen. And if he comes across the table, he has to miss the collision here. If he goes through the other side of the 5, he'll have a shot. If he runs into something, he could be dead in the water. You just don't know. He's played it soft to hold it, but he's bumped to 7. Oh dear. Well, my sphincter's tightened enough. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure if I stand up, I'll lift the chair with me. And acero's nerve isn't shattered yet. He's on the 5. Now he's got to decide where he's playing this 6 ball. He's going to play it into the corner. And now, let me have a look. Well, he's looking at leaving the Bedhead cut. He's taking his medicine. He's leaving the Bedhead cut in the 7. Got to be on the 8. Well, Bedhead made his last mistake trying to cut that down the rail, caught the 7 ball, and it's done him. Oh, you need to get there. Well, why not overhit that to here, but he's fine. And acero falls over the line in the final rack decider from that last mistake from Bedhead. He had his chance there. He had the match at his mercy. And the last mistake was a costly one. The final nail in his coffin. And acero goes through to round 3. Well, there you go. You couldn't write the script to that one, guys. And acero will be off to bed, knowing that he is now through to round 3. So let's see how that shapes up. So there's one of the contenders for the tournament. He's gone 1 loss side. And where the hell is that in the bracket? There we go. We now have, well, here's a match and a half. We've got Spectre Dawn up against acero in round 3. Spectre Dawn will still be the favourite, no doubt. But acero has laid claim that don't take me lightly. If I do get my game, I'm good enough to be taking these racks out. Well, it got ropey for him, but he hung in there. He didn't bottle out. And when he got the chance, he put the killer blows to put Bedhead to the sword, put them together and took it out when it was asked of him. So now, if we look at round 3, we have Matt in the top half of the bracket there, waiting on the winner of Spud. What did I say, Spud Boy? Popman and Stubb. They've got until the 29th to get done. We've got Spectre Don Acero. And then further below, we've got Bill, who's now waiting on the winner of that match with Albinario and Cobra next Tuesday. And further down, we have One Pocket Slim, who's waiting on the match on Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m, the one with Coldest Pillow and Interchange X. And that's my next live stream that I will have on Sunday afternoon. So I hope you can join us for that. Well, all the guys that didn't get to see the match, I'm sure they'll want to watch that later on YouTube. It's on my YouTube channel and it's on the playlist for the tournament. So very well done to Acero and good luck in the one-loss side to Bedhead. That's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for your company. I'm off for a coffee and a quick lie down because I need to recover from that. And I hope to see you again very soon. Take care and good afternoon, good evening, and good morning.